Banish business overwhelm. The secret? Delegate like we do. Hello, everyone. Tessa here with the IdeaPros marketing team. And I have a special guest, and I'm extremely happy to introduce you guys to Leticia Garcia, who is our marketing coordinator for IdeaPros. And to me, I just love it. When I first started working with Leticia, her business name was My Digital Bestie. Is that right?
Yep.
And literally my relationship with Leticia started in the very beginning in an assistant role through one of my clients. So I've been with, gosh, how long, Leticia? Like eight
years now.
years?
We turned 8 years in January.
8 years in January. And this is the perfect person to have on to our show today, because she works in assisting people, and then she also is delegating. So we're going to talk today about how you can delegate tasks in your business so you're not as stressed. So tell me in the chat if you are already at a point where you feel like you need help in your business. So let me know. Give me a yes or a thumbs up if you need help in your business right now, if you're at that point where you think you need to delegate and be able to get more done in your day. Like, I really was going to use the title, like, get more hours in the day, because that's really what
always happen, though.
It boils down to, like, am I supposed to be doing this one thing? Is this the best use of my time or not? So we're going to talk about how to do that, and some of the things that we've learned in the years and years of delegating tasks. I know I've been doing this with a large company, so director of operations and or development teams for, well, gosh, I don't even want to tell you guys, but it was like 95 when I started. And I had my first teams in 2013, where I had large teams and was working for mobile app and web design companies. It's a long time. And Odin, I see you in the chat, and he is the master of delegating and time management. So I know he'll have some little good nuggets for us to talk about, because he's also one of those people who helped me figure out, what am I doing with my time and how can I be using it wisely? So I see you guys, like, you are out there, and let us know again
today.
Yeah, let us know in the chat if you are in a place in your business where you think you need help to be able to delegate. And Aziza, she's learned to delegate on many levels. There's just no way to do it all yourself. And you shouldn't. Your time is way more valuable than having to do a lot of the tasks that are on your plate. And just as a business owner, you're going to have to be able to do it. So we have put together a lovely little presentation for you. We're going to walk through and kind of ask you guys questions as we go. But the biggest thing that I think people run into is just, how do you do it? How do you start? So let me share my screen with you guys really quickly. This was a fun quote. I have to put this on the screen Yeah, I'm going to put this on the screen because it's a really good perspective to think about. Let's see if it will come on here for us. Yes. Okay. Deciding what not to do is as important as deciding what to do. And that is Jessica Jackley. Thank you for that quote. This is 100% true. There are things in your business that you should not be doing. And there's even things in your business that you want to do, but that you should not be doing. So let's say and this is not true, but let's say you're really good at numbers and accounting, like not in my case anyway. But if that was really, really a talent of yours and you liked doing it, that doesn't mean that is something that you should do for your business. Having an accountant to be able to help you with that task is probably a better use of your time. You could be doing what we call income producing activities. So IPAs is what my industry uses as a term. So an income producing activity would be, building relationships or networking or going to a meeting to be able to building a relationship with an association or something that's going to, in the end, be better for your business, get your product or app in front of more people. Of course,
to get funding.
Help you get funding. Like, you should be, researching your competitors, or maybe that's what you delegate out and you have a marketing assistant to do it. So hi, Susan. I know I just got on Susan, and we were able to get her set up with a phone line and texting like we do for all of our partners. But that saves a ton of time because that's automation too. So But let's say that you need to bring on a person to help you with all of your fun things in your business. There are, if it will share, let's see if it's going to cooperate with me. Slideshow, presenter view. Okay. So it should show next to us. Beautiful.
Yes, we got it.
Not as full screen as I like, but that's okay.
Oh,
yep,
there we go.
Enough. Close enough. So we're going to banish the overwhelm, and we're going to talk about tips for hiring the right help, and resources that you can find that help that you need for your business. So starting right in on tips for hiring the right support. There's how many? 7 tips?
7 tips
7
that
tips
we came up with.
And that's probably, we could have easily come up with 30 tips because we do this all the time, but we boiled it down into the bare minimum. I know Leticia is going to keep an eye, since I have this up on the screen. She's going to keep an eye on your comments over there. Oh, look, Katie Hernandez.
Rob.
Katie Hernandez is like, yay, go Leticia.
Oh, God. I told the marketing team to come, so they may come embarrass me. It's fine.
Come on in. And Kyle, time versus benefit is a big equation. I love it. Absolutely. So when we're talking about being clear about expectations, Leticia, for you, because you have tasks being delegated to you and you are delegating tasks out. So what does being clear about expectations mean to you?
Main thing is this a priority? When do we need to get it done by? So that way I know if I need to move what I'm currently working on to maybe tomorrow's task or an hour later, or, is what I'm working on the new thing, is that going to take over, or can it wait a day, or can it wait until next week? So just knowing what the priority is, the deadline is, and what the task is. We need to know what it is. Are we writing website copy? Are we getting a logo designed? Do we have a trademark issue? We had to get everything rebranded with Bobby. So all the things.
What is the task? Exactly. And if you have a way to do this task that you already know, so if you know that you have a template, or you have something to make their life easier, then give it to them so that they're not recreating the wheel. When we assign a task, it's extremely hard for what's in your head to actually come into the next person's head in the same exact way. So we're going to talk about tools that we use too, but I have a method that Odin taught me actually for perfect, task delegation actually. And that's, you put the task, the exact task, and we do it inside Asana, but we'll actually list out what the task is, deadline, what expectation you have for how long that task's going to take. This is one of probably the most frustrating and expensive things that you can run into with a team, is you give somebody something and you think it's going to take 2 hours and they spend
a day.
24 hours on it. It's 2 days later, and they've been trying to make you happy, and the communication in their head of what they think the expectation is so drastically different. And so you haven't told them how long you think that task's going to take, and you haven't given them clear explanation of what they're supposed to be doing. And then you feel like, I can't delegate because it was a massive, expense to you. And I've done this way more times than I can that I care to remember. But being really clear, like, I think this is a task that's going to take 2 to 3 hours. If you don't think that is going to work, please let me know. So I like doing that, because then you are also saying that if it's taking, you're helping to communicate the quality of what you want back. If you're only giving them 2 to 3 hours, they understand that that's not going to be like, beautifully polished when it comes out, right? It's going to have some level of like, I'm going to get this over to you. And I do tell people that if they give me something, like, give me a start by this date, show me what you've got going by this date, and then I can make sure you're on track to what I'm, trying to accomplish. Not that it works every time, but it is helpful. So, and then we have maintain clear communication. I would say one of the most frustrating things for anybody who works with me, I'm super busy and most of you are going to be busy for your admins. So being able to have a specific time where you're going to meet with them and be able to unstick them or solve problems for them, like that weekly Zoom call is going to really help, or a Slack channel where you can keep in touch. We use Google Chat. We've used all kinds of things. WhatsApp.
Everything.
If you're hiring in Upwork, you have a chat feature in there. But they don't. The team that you're bringing in, they don't know what you want until you tell them. Right. So I tend to tell people, hey, you can work whatever hours you want. We'll have deadlines and we're going to work to get it accomplished by that deadline. And then I also have to say what the deadline is. So when you say March 4th, to you, it might mean March 4th at 8 p.m. It might be even saying end of business day. Like, is end of business day 5?
I don't know if that's real anymore in the virtual world.
Right. So my rule is when I have someone new that comes on, I tell them, hey, midnight on the day that I give you the date of. So you have till midnight on March 4th. So when I get in on March 5th, whatever time that is, because it doesn't matter how far apart you are, that is going to actually hold true.
Or unless you're like us, that we have a team that's online 24/7, it seems like.
Exactly. But communicating it and making sure that they know how to tell you when something's done and that you have those regular meetings is going to make a huge difference. And weekly is really helpful. I have some of my clients that do daily stand-ups. They're like 5 minutes long. They, get together, say what they're working on. And if you are a micromanager, this is going to be one of the hardest things you ever do in your whole entire life, because you have to give somebody else, you have to trust that somebody else can get these things done. And let me tell you, it's very hard. but
it is possible.
It is possible. And you cannot scale, you cannot grow until you're willing to trust somebody else to accomplish something on your behalf. So definitely. Oh, Vanessa, you have a team that's working with you to help complete tasks in your business. The Z team. Okay, so
that's exciting.
Zwizzy is an awesome product. GetZwizzy.com. You can go check out what the product is and get notifications when it's coming down the pipeline. But that's cool. I love the Z team. I want to be part of the Z team. Make the dream work.
Way to go, Vanessa. I'm delegating.
And Kyle says trust is key. And it's really hard for me because, I am one of those that is, I know that people can do it, but it's hard to give them a task and know that they may or may not hit the mark. And that's just a fact. You're just going to have to.
That's one of our other points.
Oh, she's like, wait.
Tessa.
All right. We'll say number 3, do a test project. So Leticia, do you want to explain kind of how this would look?
Yes. So with the test project, especially, I know trying to find someone to help you, for some people, it's a scary thing. You don't want to give your little baby away. And also if you're on a lean budget, this is a great way to test out somebody, or you can hire multiple people and figure out who's the best fit for you. Whether they're in the same time zone as you, they have the same personality as you, there's a lot of things that you can look for, but this will help you figure out if this is a good fit for a long-term relationship, and maybe you give them, a monthly fixed rate or something like that.
Yeah. And that's not uncommon. Well, test projects are great. And I do use the same test project across multiple people, because then it's really an apples to apple comparison to see who's going to be the best fit for that task. So we've done it before where if it's a VA task and they're importing in contacts, we give a different database of contacts to each person for them to import in, and then they have their chunk of tasks and we can see how they all compared. How did they solve
And you're
problems.
Still getting stuff done.
Right. And so it's not an absolute duplicate, right? It's new.
Right.
Or if it's social media, have each person create 9 sample social media posts. Who knows, right? But you're testing to see, did they ask? Well, I'm not even gonna go there. I'm really good at going into the next section.
Right. I have your phone number. I can call you.
Right. So the test project, what I would say is that it's usually a small, couple hour project. You're gonna treat it like you're you want to treat the person not as a test subject necessarily, because you really want to start building that relationship off the bat. It is one of the most important things to have a team that's loyal and consistent and wants to see you succeed and you want to see them succeed. Obviously, I've worked with Leticia forever. Judith, one of our team members from the Philippines, forever as well, probably as long
around
as
the same time.
as long as I've worked with Leticia. So if you build it like it's family in the beginning, then it's gonna be something that you can keep.
And then you hang out in real life, and it's even better.
I know, exactly. Sometimes I actually get to hang out with Leticia. So number 4 on our list of things to how to delegate successfully is to be realistic. And just like I said, we've tested, I don't think, until you know somebody and you really work with them, there's going to be a lot of ups and downs. Things are done wrong or you miss deadlines, and it's just, you have to be realistic that it's going to take time to really get your flow down, and mistakes are going to happen. Right, yes.
Leticia? or maybe I do something different than Tessa would have done it, but the point is it still got done. Maybe I did it faster than her, or maybe she did it faster than me, but the point is the thing got done that needed to get done. So, and that's okay. And you just have to be open to that as well.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I love this last point that you had on here, because we kind of blended it into 2, but someone who takes ownership over mistakes is really important. So if they're already passing blame when you're starting to work with them, not only can you not pass blame, but the people who are on your team have to be okay with saying, oh, you know what, I didn't understand that right. I'm good. I'm going to be able to, I can correct it, or I can do this or that. When you have someone who's always projecting blame, it gets really difficult. You really won't be able to have a good working relationship if you can't all take responsibility for your areas. And as a manager, as a person who's delegating, you are always the wrong one. Let me tell you, and I'm not kidding, this is true. This is 100% how it works. You can't, you will always be the one who could have done something. Oh, nice. I just stuck that right on top of there. You will always be the person who could do it better, because you are the manager of that task. Like, if the deadline wasn't hit, well, did you communicate the deadline right? did you put it in a place where they can easily find it? Did you remind them before? There's always something that's going to come back to you as the person giving the task.
But that also improves your process of how you delegate as well, in case you miss something.
Absolutely. But one of my favorites is to find problem solvers, not just task doers. Find problem solvers, because they're going to be able to get you, if you're delegating tasks, you don't have time already, but they're maybe going to find a solution. And I tell people when I'm working with them, like, just bring solutions to me, not problems. Like, if you have a problem, what could you do? Solve it a little bit before you even tell me that the problem's out there. And
I do that to you all the time.
I'm going to love you and give you many, many projects if you do that, because it's just a lot of work for someone who's trying to coordinate teams. And I want to say, I don't even know how many. I have probably close to 17, maybe 20 different contractors only, not even including staff members that I work with. So, one little problem here can actually really snowball into a lot. So
the domino effect, right? We talked about.
Yeah, and tell us a little bit more about those problem solvers, Leticia.
I think it helps just to be proactive and not just sit on a problem or be afraid to say, I have a problem, I can't figure this out, because I know there's some people that don't want to own that they don't know what they're doing. And sometimes it doesn't hurt to say, I need help, I don't understand this. Or, even if I don't go to you, maybe I go to someone else on the team that's more familiar, like our packaging process. I don't know anything about packaging. So it's like, we need to find someone that is an expert and like make recommendations as well. Doesn't hurt as well.
Yeah, and I love that in here it says confidence in their skills and experience. So I encourage, like, Leticia is amazing. She's great at what she does. And so if she came to me with something, I want to reward the fact that she's coming to me with something, even if the problem can't be solved or we haven't found the right answer, I want to really, really encourage the fact that she came with an idea, even if it's like, oh, we're going to have to add a $75,000 software. Okay, well, maybe we can't do that. But
there's always the dream list, remember?
I really appreciate that you came to the table with a solution, but we might have to find another one.
Or we have our future list for maybe... Right.
Exactly.
Down the road, we can use that way.
And I love that. We call it, I've used parking lot before. So I'll say that's a great idea for the parking lot. So we're going to put that and just keep it in the mix and visible, but we're going to have to come back to it. But you mentioned something that was really good too. And they're willing to ask, and they're willing to ask for help. They're willing to ask you if they don't understand something. If they got all the way to the end of a long task and it's not even close, but they knew in the middle that they weren't quite understanding what that outcome needed to be, it's very expensive for you. So I always tell people in the beginning, like, ask me questions. This is how you can communicate to me and ask questions. And I always attach another person. So Leticia is like my go-to for processes and everything. So if I'm trying to train someone up, I'm going to have a second person that might be there more available to help her, if that makes sense. Yep. And then just, if most people are okay with asking questions, but there's a pride side to it, right? So there's this sense of like, if I don't do it on my own, it's going to look bad for me. So I tell people in the beginning, like, and there is no bad question. There's no stupid question. You can ask me anything.
It's a judge-free zone.
Right? Judge-free zone. Like if you truly don't know. And this includes terms. Terminology is one of the most common things that we say, things like SEO. I can say that to you right now. And Leticia knows about it. But when she first started with me, she'd probably be like, I have no clue what that is. So search engine
optimization. We started from Hootsuite. What is that? How do we schedule content?
Right.
I got it now.
If you have terms in your industry, make sure you have like a little term sheet and things that will help them, at least, especially when there's a possibility it could be mixed up with something else.
Exactly. And I think that's our next point too, is about finding the specialist as well.
Okay. So number 7, we're almost done. And then we're going to show you some awesome tools and give you guys some resources that you're going to love. So yes, the power of a specialist. I hire a lot of specialists. I want the best Shopify designer. I want the best SEO team. I want the best PPC ad team. Writers, exactly. So when you hire specialists, it often is more expensive, but that industry experience is so valuable. So you might just, even we were talking about packaging. We have a packaging writer. So they could do other writing, but they know packaging, right? So they're going to be able to say, you have to have this FDA thing here, or, and even all then
the legalities.
Right. And they're not a lawyer, so they're not going to be able to tell you that, but they know from experience of doing that item, what you're probably going to fall into as far as like, pitfalls. So having a specialist is really helpful. And the tools that we're going to show you will help you to find a specific specialist. But VAs as a whole, I love having virtual assistants who can kind of be my jack of all trades or help me with assisting in like email organization or calendar things. And so you may not have necessarily on the VA side, you might not have someone who's super specialized, but there is something called an online business manager, which is, in most cases, they have a certification. And that was what I went with, was online business manager. And I think Leticia went into marketing. So she's a marketing coordinator. So it just depends on what type of role. And you can usually look on Indeed and look for job descriptions, and you'll find kind of that role that the world thinks that person is, if that makes sense. So I search Indeed for the job title first. Like social media manager and social media specialist are 2 different things. Who would have known?
Content creator is a different thing too. Like what type of content are we talking about?
Right. And then video content. It's just, you can do some research before you bring someone on, obviously. And, so speaking of that, Azizi was saying that she has a team in the Philippines. I love my Philippine team, is amazing. And it just depends on what your preferences are in your business. If you want to go overseas or not, there is time differences. That's really tricky because it's like 12-hour difference, but it's most of the time it's like VA tasks. It's pretty easy. So I love that. And the team works so hard and efficient. Yes, absolutely. And for me, my team is my family. And I know we have marketing team members that are in our chat too. And so whether it's employee team or it's like a contractor team, they become part of your family. So I'm going to show a couple more slides and then we're going to let you, I know we're coming up on the top of the hour, but here is our recommendations for where you can find help for your business. So the M is Magic, and I love Magic. It's getmagic.com. I love Magic because there's a text service to it. And I want to say it depends on how many hours you buy, but you can have something down to a 10-hour or $10 an hour rate. But the text service that I use, it's $25, which seems high. But if you think about it, at that moment, whatever time it is, you can text them and they will get the task done.
You'll wake up to something being done.
I've done it at midnight and I've gotten something back by 1 a.m. You know, it's like I have to have this one description. So, I mean, I love the system with Get Magic and the texting service. And then another one of my favorites is Fancy Hands. And I'm actually going to show the screen. I am going to show Fancy Hands because I love this interface. Oh, so Fancy Hands, you're actually going to, let's see if I can make it cooperate here. Yeah, that works. Okay, so Fancy Hands, you're going to pay for a certain number. So 5 requests is $30 right at the moment. If you were to buy it right now, you get 5 requests. They're about 20 minutes long. And you actually can see how much you've saved time-wise. So this is like, I need to find a cat carrier. This is for real. This is my life. I have to find a cat carrier. That doesn't have to be airline approved. Like this is literally, they are going, this is personal or business. It's like whatever your business, whatever you need to have done, you can have them help you. Find a driver for regular appointments, or I need a clinic that gives B12. I love B12, by the way. But like I need to find BNI chapters in Knoxville. So they just go do the task for you. You can actually request here live, or you can do it from the phone, or you can text them. And when you do, once you've set up, you've got all of your tasks, you can have reoccurring tasks. You can even set up credit card information in there, and they can buy, like if you need to give someone a gift. I have done this where I'm like, can you find a gift for my sister? And here's like, I'm not kidding. Tara would probably like, seriously? This is the stuff that takes a lot of time. So definitely highly recommend Fancy Hands, and they've been a great resource. And your tasks can roll over to some extent if you didn't use all of your tasks. As long as you keep your subscription active, you can go. You can actually have them roll over into the next month. Other resources that we like, and I'm just going to make that small again. Okay, other resources, Upwork. It is getting more expensive for Upwork, but I highly recommend we use Upwork a lot. You can find the right person for you, and then it just bills weekly, and you actually have all the tax forms are done through Upwork, so you don't have to worry about 1099s or anything. It takes care of everything for you, and you set your price. So if you want it to be, you can say your suggested cost for that task, or like me, I actually just let them bid, and then I see how people are bidding in there. I would say there's different filter methods. So you can filter only by US, or you can go international. And then you do have like sorting capabilities where you can say, this person's pretty good, I'll add them to my short list. I've done the test projects in Upwork. We've actually also used surveys on Upwork. So before they even get considered for a job position, we have a job survey that they answer the questions on, like what hours they're available. So like the general questions. Yes, screening questions for sure. And Upwork is great. Like if you can test something, like somebody didn't do the work, or they didn't, they're just charging you for no reason, you can contest it, but it comes out weekly. So every week on Monday, anyone who is doing time the week before, it'll charge on that Monday. So it's really easy for your budget, just because it's like a flowing little amount as opposed to paying upfront, for a whole month.
Right.
Fiverr is another really good one. I love Fiverr for small projects, and I'm just going to show you guys because there's a variety of services that you can actually have. So video explainer, I've used voiceovers on Fiverr. I've paid, $10, $20. I've done video intros, opening, outros. I mean, all of that can be done in here. I would say that it takes a little bit more time. Upwork can be pretty fast and you can have someone working on a project really quickly, but Fiverr, they have to approve it and then it goes through that route. Like they're going to have some dialogue back and forth. So just be prepared for it taking a couple days sometimes or more. Sometimes they'll have like 7 days that they're going to work on that item.
Oh, that's how it works there.
Yeah. And you pay for Fiverr, you pay the price of the item right then, and then they complete the task and you release the task when you say that it's done to your satisfaction, and then it releases that money, but you are putting the funds up front.
Got it.
All right. And then online jobs, and you said it's onlinejobs.ph, and that's specifically
for help in the Philippines for anything. Perfect. There's specialists, VAs over there as well.
Awesome. Okay, so that's a lot of resources, guys, but I highly recommend that you take a look at them. So ways to make delegating easier. These are our delegating resource tidbits. For sure, loom.com, my best favorite thing ever, right? So Leticia, yes. What is Loom?
So Loom is, you can record videos, you can have a picture of you on there if you want to, or it can be you in real time, like how Tessa and I are right now. And you can just record what's on your screen and you can talk through, the process, or if you're providing feedback for someone, this is a great visual way to do it. So you're not like sending documents back and forth. I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. Just show me.
It's perfect. It's this little guy up here. So let's say I'm going to start a Loom right now. I'm going to click on that little icon and I just want it to be screen only. I don't want it to be my camera too, although it could be, in which case you're probably going to see like half a camera because it does that every time. Yeah, because it's picking up the wrong one. So you're actually going to change to screen only, let's say, and we're just going to go explain. I'm going to record my screen. And this is the first screen, like this is the one that we're showing you.
And then you can just do the Chrome tab, and then the best part of it all, after you record, it'll give you a link, and then you just share the link with whoever you're sending it to, and then off it goes. And then in Loom, it keeps a little library of all your videos, so you can always go back to it. You can also download them and put them in Google Drive, because I know Loom only gives you a certain amount of space, but that's the free, easy way to do that.
So 25 free videos with Loom. If you upgrade past that, then you can actually pay per month, and it's very low cost to me. But as you can see, I just recorded us doing this. Now, I only recorded my microphone. I wasn't recording the computer sound. So like Leticia talking wouldn't be on here, but this, and you just, whip together, like, here's what I need. Here's the task. There's a picture's worth. What do they say? Like 1,000 words?
Or something.
To me, it's like bajillion words, because I cannot explain something for the life of me in just text writing it. So I think video is so helpful. And when I did this, it actually did copy a link in the chat. So it's already on my copy, and I just paste it and send this to Leticia or anyone else, and they're going to be able to watch that, and they can comment. I don't actually look at the comments on mine, but
but you can also rename whatever the video is as well, so it doesn't say.
So you can type right in here. Exactly. So we can just type important instructions for video. So you can rename it. Plus, if you do pay for the account, you can come back to them. So we do a lot of our training videos for any regular task. We'll put into Loom and then have that be a permanent resource. You can download it and keep it. So to check it out, Loom, LOOM. LOOM.com.
Yeah, that's right.
Yep. And so we've done a ton for you guys in this one. So I just put in the chat, if you guys feel a little bit more empowered to bring on team members than you may have a couple days ago. Let us know if it was helpful. And guys, if you are looking for someone in particular, I'd love for our Facebook channel to be a good resource. So let me know if you are looking for somebody in particular. We have some recommendations for when you hit the market and you're ready to do more delegation. And we have, marketing teams, we have video teams that we can refer to you as well, to help you to not have to go through all of the, I don't know, growing pains is the best way
to put it. Yeah.
I don't want you to experience what I have experienced myself. And if you guys ever have any questions or a topic that we're not covering on the Friday Lives, let me know. This was one of the requested ones from our audience. If there's something that you really want us to cover, let me know. Bongo, thank you. Bongo is actually coming, almost ready.
They're almost ready. Oh, I saw their pitch deck. It looked really nice.
I am so excited. Great info. Thank you. And Kyle says, thank you, ladies. Vance says, awesome. And Kelly Reed, great to have you here. Valuable info from Sunblock and from Steve Brown over at Eclipse Sunblock. And I heard you're coming really close too. We're literally, you guys are going to be amazed at how many things are coming out from IdeaPros right now.
We've been working hard.
We have been working hard. So thank you so much, Leticia, for hopping on. I appreciate you. Not only do you do an amazing job with our marketing team, like I cannot do this without you, but you are just so helpful to our audience. You guys don't know that Leticia is in the background every single Friday live, making sure that everything.
For 3 years.
For 3 years, every single one. I mean, unless she's on her deathbed, and she never was, thank goodness. But every one of them, she's in the background making sure you guys have the links. You might probably hear me say, Leticia, can you put a link to that in the chat? So I just really appreciate it.
And Leticia. It goes on the blog.
No, it does. And these are up on our blog. So IdeaPros.com/blog. You guys can go check it out. And we'll see. Well, I'm going to give you a cup. I'm going to let Leticia fall off, and I'm going to chat with you guys in the chat real quick.
And we'll
Friday,
see. Guys.
Thank you, Leticia. All right. Well, then, guys, like I said, every Friday at noon Pacific time, if you click the bell, it will send you a reminder when we go live. So definitely do that. And there's also a link in the chat or in the post where you can get notifications by text. If you aren't doing that already, it's super helpful because it will send you right to the post so you can join us. But I appreciate you guys being here. We have some new people. So I bought mojitos. Okay. Nice to see you. Glad to have you here. Happy Friday. Jim, good to see you. Sean, Martin, and Alfredo. I love having you guys here. Just really appreciate you. Sean Reed. Sean is so dedicated. And I know you had something you posted just a minute ago, so I'm trying to find it with Sage Scheduler. And I got to find it. Sage Scheduler or Sage right now on IG. And I know you are. Oh, hey, I'm glad. So Sage Scheduler is coming out soon, and Sean is working with our software team, which is amazing. But it is a process, and there's a lot that goes into an app as well as a product. So it's exciting that it's getting there. 17 years of developing Sage Scheduler. It's a lot, and you're ready to see it come to fruition, I'm sure, and it's going to get busy for you. So thank you guys. And let me know if you guys, if you have any exciting plans for this weekend. Is anybody doing anything fun? I know where we are, it's going to be beautiful. It's going to be beautiful. Oh, I'm glad. Thank you, Katie. Good to have you here. All right, guys. See you next week. Bye.